Hello YouTube, I'm back again with another video. I'm going to be playing my custom archetype, the EDP 445 archetype, because even though I already did a deck profile, I want to be able to showcase the cards that I'm using that were revealed, so you guys can see how the archetype works and if they have actual synergy with each other. You're gonna find out now. So with the Universe 445, I managed to search Dream Girl 445. And she's the card that I want a normal summon, which I'm doing right now, and has a really good effect, allowing me to summon one monster with 13 attack and or defense. So I'm going to summon the Eagle Eye. His effect activates, allowing me to special summon one monster from my hand. That's 1300. And Schoolboy will activate its effect by adding one monster with 1300 attack and or defense, which is going to be Arbelly. So this engine is pretty much like a one card combo. This engine is like a one card combo, seriously. You just need, if you manage to get Street Dream Girl out, and then depending what you have cards you have in your hand, 90% of the time you can easily get out all your 4 or 5 monsters out with these. And with 445 Dark Fantasy, I'm allowed to pay 4 or 5 life points to draw a card. But for the remainder of this turn, I can only special summon monsters with 1300 attack and or defense points from my hand or deck, which is a cost. So there's a reason why I semi-limit this card, because if you play 3, you usually get to draw 3 cards. So I'll use Cupcake Boy's effect, tributing Street Gym Girl, special summoning Cupcake Boy, and then using his effect to add Arbelly, even though I already have one in my hand, but just in case I'll add an extra, so. Because consistency does matter throughout every duel in Yu-Gi-Oh! Special summon Arbelly from my hand to the field. And I'm most likely going to use Nightmare's Schoolboy's effect, banishing Dream Girl, and she gets to return to my hand during my next standby phase. Here, I'm mistaken for end phase. I meant to say standby phase. It's during my next EDP. Oh, that was a really good pun, to be honest. And I'm about to go for a Link 3 right now, as you can see. Wait for it. Let's fast forward. For Pseudo Talker, and Universe 4-5's effect will activate the field spell, shuffling Eagle Eye back to my deck, and I gain 1900 life points thanks to attack, and Arbelly will gain 1300 attack thanks to the field spell. My mistake, he gains 1900. No, my mistake is 1300. So I was definitely wrong on that part. I'm not sure why I said 1900. I kind of misread it. I had to 100% be sure, but with Pseudo Kotak's effect, I managed to summon these two. But if my opponent had monsters in their graveyard, he can manage to summon as many as he wants, as you can read by its effect. And I'll end my turn here, and then pass it on to my opponent. His deck seems really random. Even I'm confused. Sometimes it's easier seeing what kind of archetype your opponent's playing, so you you can figure out the gist, and the naming would be a lot easier if they had names that were similar. Not too similar, but the names that matched in order for it to be an actual archetype. But considering he only has 5 monsters in his extra deck, I feel, well, to be honest, I don't feel it's going to be that much of a challenge. So even though I should not get carried away right now, so I should definitely wait on what he's going to do. Let me fast forward here. He special summons Flashlight, which seems really random because it's a fairy and a tuner, but has a picture of an actual girl. Not the artwork on this card, the design is just really poor. He could have found something that could have made the card look more interesting, but instead he chose an actual person because they might decide to sue later. But then he'll summon the Midget Chair. I'm not sure if that's a kid or not. Once summoned, he'll add 1 spell card. Did you hear that? I'm not sure what that was, but it was definitely creepy. With the word midget in it. Yeah, he needs to fix his card text. It should say from his deck, with with midget in their name. Like, and you need to include quotations when you're trying to specify what card you're adding. So let's fast forward here. Talking too much. Draw a card. He ends his turn because I had to stop to his plays. So like I said, I retrieve Street Dream Girl, and then eventually my opponent's gonna scoop in this turn. So during this turn, he will definitely scoop when I summon Street Dream Girl, claiming that my deck is unfair and all that nonchalant bullshit. So even though he's not any different. His deck isn't any better because pretty sure it's broken too. He just doesn't know how to make decent custom cards. And it has the problem card like solving text, which you need to fix too. You want to make sure if it like you want to be able to solve the card too when you're reading, even if it is a power effect. It just doesn't make sense because people are going to be confused when they read the effect. So at the same time, it's also his fault for not putting in proper card text. Because whether the card is broken, you still have to be able to make sure the person can read the effect so that they can confirm that it resolves. And either way, I draw 2. And like I said, Dark Fantasy is perfect to 2 rather than 3. Some people say that the semi-alignment should exist, but in a way it kind of helps depending how you dictate your cards. And this card is a lot less broken when you're playing it less than 3. So 2 is the right number. 1, you can draw a card once per turn, but at the same time you still have to pay the cost 445 life points. Because if you go into 3 cards, it just seems way too easy. So when he says that, I'm not sure whether he means he's gonna harass me later, but if that was the case, I made sure to quit dueling. I made sure to exit dueling book just to see if he would immediately respond back. But again, it's too bad we didn't get the entire result of the duel. Like we don't get to determine how it could have played out because my opponent, like I said, my opponent decided to leave the duel because he knew he was at a disadvantage. And to say my cards are broken, his cards seem broken too. They just don't make sense. Just reading, I'm legit confused. Considering some people may think that I can be confusing too, but like at least I'm able to explain my cards. Like when he looks at his, when he plays his cards, does he understand the card text? Does he even know what he's doing, or is he just? I'm pretty sure he would be mixed up too by just looking at his cards. Because I guarantee if he reads his own cards, he will be confused as well too. Like he wouldn't be too sure how to use them since he made them. But like I said, you have to make cards that not just for the opponent but for everybody to say. Because at the same time, you can contradict yourself with the effect. You claim this is what happens, this is how the effect works, but the card itself has to specify how the card is supposed to activate, and you have to carefully decide how you display the card text because that is important. Because I guarantee you yourself who made the cards, you're going to be confused too, and then you realize it's not going to really help your situation. You got to be able to help yourself as well, so that if your opponent doesn't understand card text, what makes you think you will? Considering that you didn't put any effort in trying to specify, you didn't put any detail. You need to be more clear and concise as to how you type your card text. It's how you display them, because that's the only way people can be able to comprehend what you're doing. Because it seems like he doesn't know what he's doing. That's why he decided to leave, like as I explained. Because he figured his cards didn't really make any sense. So it's best that try to either make new better cards, or furthermore make cards that are more busted than what he already has in his hand and field, but then maybe at the same time he could try to improve himself, which I think which I would suggest he do, because this definitely needs tons of improvement. Because it's really hard for me to actually read and know what's going on, because he's making these cards only for him basically, but at the same time I can't really judge. In Dueling Book you can make the cards available to anyone, not just yourself, but it's weird is that Dueling Book allows you to make your own custom cards that only you can use. So maybe that's the trick. Maybe that's something that I possibly should be aware of. But either way, it was a custom duel. It did not hurt anybody. It did not bother me. It was just for me to showcase the cards so you guys have a better understanding how my cards work. Not to satisfy my opponent, but either way, I won since he quit. The duel belongs to me. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Be sure to check for more upcoming content later in the future. Be sure to check your notifications. Comment, like, subscribe. Thank you.